in a bit. People say you have to wait to find love. No, they don't. People say, don't go looking for love because love will find you. That was it. I've left that out in the rain. It'll do. You think you find love, or you know what love is. That's the truth. I thought I found love. No, I went looking for love. That's the issue. First time round, I went looking for love. And you think you found it, and it's not. You've not found it. And then it finds you. Second time round, it's found me. And then you know. It's easy to say that when you're in love. But when you're waiting for it to happen, because you're supposed to wait for it and it'll find you, it's easier said than done, isn't it? And that's the issue with it. It's a bit weird. I genuinely made a mistake. I did. Genuinely now, looking back, I made a mistake because I went looking for love. I didn't let it come to me. Yeah, mate. Okay? Well, yes. And that was the mistake I made. So I failed in that. First time round I failed. Not second time round, not with Shelley. But I'll talk about that later. I need some cardboard. Hence the reason for the knife. So if that applies to love, isn't that not the same when it comes to your career as well? Your path. Don't go looking for your career path. It will find you. I thought I had it. I genuinely thought I had it. And I wanted to be the golf pro. I thought, yeah, I wanted to be a professional golfer. I wanted the mindset of like Tiger Woods. But in my day, it was more Seve Ballesteros, I suppose. That sort of mindset of where you want to be the best at anything you turn your hand to. So I started on the golf and applied myself to it. Many days and nights, Christmas days, New Year Eve, practicing to try and make it. And basically, I failed. Wasn't good enough. Coming. I wasn't good enough. Failed. Sure, I was good enough to be a professional golfer, to be a teacher, you know, have a great life, live in Holland, earn fantastic money, but it's not where I wanted to be. In my eyes, I'd failed. And that's the important part, because after that, that's where it all went a bit weird. Because you see, golf was my path from start to finish. I knew it was like a line, a linear line, straight line, start to finish. Start at the bottom of the ladder, climb to the top of the ladder, achieve the pinnacle of what I was after. That was my dream. And after that, once I'd failed and fell off that ladder, I think that's where I pretty much lost my way. And I still have, to be honest with you, still have. Once you lose your path and in your career, which way do you go then? You see, my path was clear. I knew exactly what I wanted to do. I knew I had a start line. I also knew where my finish line was. And I knew that all I had to do to get there was to climb the ladder and believe in the ladder. and climb that ladder all the way to the top with my golf clubs, and eventually I'd make it as a top professional and travel the world. That was the plan. The one thing that holds you back on the plan is your own limitations. And unfortunately, my limitation meant that I failed at that. I'd never ever get there. The highest I got was about here. And then what happened? Is I fell off because I wasn't happy. What happens then? Well, in my eyes then, I needed to find a new path, a different path. Because I didn't know what I wanted to do. So I thought, I don't know how to do this. So what I did was, in essence, it's like casting a net, like a fishing net. And you cast a net out there into your career lives and see what comes back with you. That's all I had. That was my true calling. That's all I had. It was golf. I didn't really have anything else. And to this day, I still don't actually. Which in essence means that I've failed. When it comes down to career, it means it's failed. I'm winning in a lot of different aspects now, but the career one is the next one to look at. So in essence now, that life, that's long gone. People say, can you get back into it? The answer is no. Golf has now passed me by. Science has got involved. Technology has moved on from 20 years ago, and it's completely passed me by. I'm going to have to say goodbye to that path. Draw a line under it. It's gone. Start afresh. So this is where it becomes interesting, because now, rather than having one ladder, I've now created for myself different ladders, or different stalks, I like to think it is most probably, in different directions. Don't need that anymore. Because I immerse myself into many, many different things instead. And you've also got the skills that you've already got and you can keep with you. For instance, I know I speak Dutch. I know my Spanish isn't too bad. I know I'm a decent poker player. That's the truth, actually. That was actually one of the lines of direction I considered, was actually, shall I become a professional poker player? I actually followed that path a little bit longer and investigated that avenue to see if it was possible. And I think maybe it could have happened, but with the kids at the certain age they were, the risk value was far too high, so I never bothered with that in the end. Then you go back to selling, which was the cars at the time. Selling the cars, that was really, really financially successful for me. That's the one that put the roof over my kids' heads at night, and that put the clothes on the backs and the food on the table. So that was the path genuinely that I had to follow a long, long way down that line. More through necessity rather than through want, I suppose. Since then, things have come on like comparing, rapping, funerals, even to the point of being Rabbi Rick. So you see, with all these different things on there now, career-wise, you can go different directions. For instance, that one there, Dutch, very accomplished, but he's hit a line, it's hit the level, because there's not really much further I can go with it. Spanish, I'm about there. I think in a couple of years' time, if I keep the Spanish up, there might be a job. I'm not left-handed. There might be a job later on down the line, using my right hand, where I could become a translator for people, because I think using that language there and that helped me learn this, I think in years to come that'll actually go further, and that'll most probably be a good career path really for me, because as far as I'm aware, men in general, when they go to the hospital or they need doctors and they're talking about medical issues, they don't really want a female translator with them. So I think most probably that has actually got a great potential to be able to create something maybe later on down the line. That's gone. That's gone. All that was in the end now. I still do it, but that's fun. That's fun. I just use it for fun nowadays. Selling the cars, in essence, selling the cars has gone, but the skill that I learned is I put it into everyday life, that I use it all the day when I deal with people and the general public. I'm still using that skill set, which gets me there, gets me quite a long way actually. I think that's quite accomplished. I think I'm pretty much there with that, and I think I'm quite happy to go with it. The comparing, that path is nowhere near finished. That path is not finished. We're about there at this moment in time. I'm not sure where it's going to go at the moment. I'm still enjoying it. I'm very happy with it. So I think that's the path that I'm going to stick to at the moment. As the wrapping, I don't know, I think that might have come to its end. And the reason why I think it might come to an end, I did it on the previous vlog, I think it comes down to the fact that I'm not 20 years of age anymore. Trying to push through to get yourself onto a circuit at this age of time, I think there's more chance of going with that than there is with that. The funerals, that's just a sideline really. That's just something that'll just carry on going, you know, and it make its own way. I do live stream funerals for people over here who who pass away over here, and family members that can't get over. If we do a live stream, it works really, really well. And that was just a one-off thing with it, really. That's pretty much how it's looking at this moment in time. As you can see, for me, what I look at is at the moment, I think this is a very strong point. This here, that's a real strong point. I enjoy that, so I like that as well. The skill set from selling of cars, I think it's really good. That's going to help. That's going to encompass a lot, really. That encompasses a lot. That definitely helps with the comparing, and that definitely helps with the wrapping. Although I use the wrapping and the comparing in the act anyway as I go comparing, and that's really the path. I know it's not as lineal as the Golf, but for me, it's understandable in the direction that I want to go. You got to be careful though, because you can't take too much on. Because when you take too much on, you start becoming like that character, Catherine Tate. You know, the one that says, "I can do that."
I can do that.
Well, I can do that. Funerals, I can do that.
Well, I can do that.
Somebody mentioned marriage ceremonies. Somebody mentioned marriage ceremonies. Can't even say it. I can do that.
I can do that.
You just got to be careful which direction you go. The thing about the Spanish and the translations is you're dealing with people's lives, so you've got to make sure you're at a level of competency that you're going to be comfortable with, and you don't need to just learn the language, you need to know the language. That's the difference with my Dutch and my Spanish. With Spanish, I can talk Spanish, but with Dutch, I know the Dutch language, I can know the humour, I know the underlying messages, and I think that's most probably the direction it'll end up going in maybe 5 years' time, I don't know. It's a bit of a mess though. So as opposed to the linear path, I've now got this path which is all different directions. There is one thing that I've missed off there that needs to be on there, and I'll just put that on now. And this is something that I've learned that I might not have learned on that linear path. Because I think on that linear path I was so determined and directed that actually I don't think I'd have remembered that bit. And to be honest with you, this here has taught me that. Because this here, falling off that ladder there, taught me a big lesson. That taught me humility. And that humility encompassed in all this generates that. And that to me is my main priority, because if you do that, I believe in karma. If you do that, good things will then come back to you. So when I said right at the beginning, people tell you never go looking for love, it'll find you, and I failed on that. I also believe that's the same when it comes to your career path, because if you don't know what it is, don't go looking for it. Hopefully it'll find you, just like Shelley found me and I found Shelley. Because Shelley has a great saying. It was Shelley's dad actually who said this. If you find something to do that you love, you'll never work a day in your life. And that is so true. Question is though, have you got the balls to change your path? That's the gamble I took. I'm just waiting to see if that gamble's going to pay off. That's what it comes down to. I'll keep you posted. I'll keep you posted and let you know. Till the next one, guys. See you soon. Cheers.